Okay, this ain't Gaza. This is not Gaza, dude. Listen up. Okay, are you done? Okay.
No, are you
so
done?
Are
you going to repeat yourself?
You made a claim that you said that when the Zionists came, you made a claim. You said that when the Zionists came, they had to. You made a claim. You said that when the Zionists came, they had to ethnically cleanse the Arabs in order to have a Jewish majority, in order to have a state. I'm asking you if there was a partition plan, and there was, that we accepted, then your entire claim falls. So address this point. You see, it was like 30 seconds. You just had to wait up. Now I'll repeat myself again. You made a claim that in order to create a Jewish state, we had to ethnically cleanse all the Arabs in order to have a Jewish majority. And I'm challenging you, and I'm saying, no, there was a partition plan, and if it was accepted by the Arabs, which it was not, then we would have divided the land. We would have a Jewish state with our majority, you would have an Arab state with your majority, and everybody would live happily ever after. Now address my point. Now listen, I will mute up, and then it will be a cue for you to
Yeah, I know how it works. You repeating yourself 3 times doesn't benefit anybody. Apparently it only does. I don't know, must be a articulation thing or English.
You're wasting your time. You're wasting your time talking.
Well, I have very simple answer. Do you know the demographic ratio for the presumed Jewish state? Let's just start there. According to the partition plan, what would have been the percentages?
Like 40-something%? What's the point?
So yeah, the Arabs would have been 45. Roughly, we're talking roughly. So 45
that's okay.
85. So that's what we're talking about.
No, because the land was divided first to, you took the entire land of Palestine, you first cut it, you made Transjordan, you turned it into an Arab country called Transjordan, you brought the Hashemite kingdom, and then from the rest, we partitioned it again. And then you got half, and we got half. What's your problem?
You answered the question, just mute up, man.
So we could have had the majority in that state.
I'm trying to give you some respect. Just mute up. Jesus Christ. So again, I told you the ratio would have been 45 to 55. Roughly speaking. If there are places it would have been more in the favor of the Arabs. So again, this state.
Yeah, Israel had more land, but the Palestinians were given better land. So it was 55%. Yes, the state wouldn't have been viable because it was only 45% of the land. It's a stupid argument. You're saying that we were overwhelmed because they had a majority of the land was given to Israel, but you're so stupid.
This Jewish state wouldn't have been viable in the few decades that would follow.
Why wouldn't it have been viable?
Yet alone,
they said no.
Yeah. Let me.
Why
so
wouldn't
yeah,
it
you would
have
lose.
been
You
viable?
would lose your majority in the next few decades.
Right, and then what would happen?
And not only that.
And then what would happen?
If you look at the.
And then what would happen? And what would happen when the Jews lost their majority? What would happen then? Why would that be so bad?
It wouldn't be a Jewish state.
And so then what would be bad about that?
Ask yourself why the partition to begin with.
I can answer. You're asking me to answer?
The answer. Go ahead.
Ask myself? Well, then the Jews would be under threat of extermination.
Oh, okay.
That's why they need the majority, obviously.
Okay, so now,
Do you understand that?
Okay, no problem.
What do you think would happen if the Jews lost the majority?
I'm going with your logic.
Okay.
So if you know now that, if I look at the birth rates, and I know I'm going to
Light is shed upon the righteous, and joy on the upright in heart. The Lord will fulfill his purpose